In this lesson, it gives us an opportunity to broaden our knowledge about Tinikling dance, which includes the costume, formation, music and counts, as well as the procedure on how to execute this dance step based on the literature from figure number 1 to 8. So let's start now.
So here are the procedure on how to handle the bamboo pose with the partner. Two bamboo players sit on the ground opposite each other, holding the ends of the bamboo poles, sometimes long pieces. Two pieces of the board or bamboo, about 30 inches long and 2 inches thick, are placed under the poles about 1 foot from ends.
So do you have any idea about what kind of costume wear in this dance? The boy wear a balong Tagalog, and the girl often use what's so-called balintawak costume. How about the music and counts? In music, it's divided into two parts, A and B, count 1, 2, 3 to a measure. In counts, we have 1, 2, 3 to every measure. Bamboo rhythms. Strike bamboo poles together once by sliding them against the board or lifting them an inch or so. Count 1. Open the bamboos about a foot apart and strike them twice against the board. Count 2, 3. This is repeated as many times as necessary in a regular rhythm.
Go.
Formation. Dancers stand at the left side of the bamboo poles, girls in the front facing the audience. Part of the dance, of course, the introduction, simply taking the light of the movement and dynamic of the performance. Starting with the right foot, dancer take 4 waltz step forward going to the proper places. The girl holding the skirt, the boy hands on waist for 4 measure. Strike bamboo poles together once at every first beat at the second, third, and fourth measure. Dancers stand at the left side of the poles on the left foot. Tap with the right foot twice between the poles and count 2 and 3 of measure 5. Repeat B 3 times more and play 4 times for 4 measure. Figure number 1, the Tinikling step. A takes 7 Tinikling step right and left alternately. Hands position as described above. The first hop on the count 1 measure 1 may be omitted for 7 measure. Step right foot outside pole number 2 count 1, hop twice on the left foot between turning right about, counts 2, 3. Girl holds skirt, boy hands on waist for 1 measure. Take 7 Tinikling step left and right alternately. Hands as above for 7 measure. Girl hops on the left foot outside pole number 1 count 1, hops on the right twice between the poles, going backward near bamboo players number 1 count 2, 3. Hands as above in 8 measure. Boy hops on left foot outside pole number 1 count 1, turn right about by hopping twice on the right foot between the poles, going near bamboo players number 2, count 2 and 3. Hands as in 8 measure for a 1 measure. Figure number 2, clockwise and counterclockwise. Girl stands at the left side of the pole number 2 and boys at the left side of the pole number 1. Starting with the left foot, take 4 steps forward outside the poles, count 1, 2, 3 and 4, turn right about and hop on left, count now 5, and right foot, count 6 between the poles. Girl holds skirt, boys hands on waist for 2 measure. Repeat A 3 times more, going clockwise. And the 8 measure, hop on left twice between the poles, count 5 and 6 for 6 measure. C. Repeat all A and B, starting with the right foot on the other side of the poles. Boy at the right side of the pole number 2 and the girl of the pole number 1. Reverse direction for 7 measure. And left foot, count 2 between the poles. Girl take 3 steps forward about 2 feet away from the pole number 2 for a 1 measure. Boy take 3 steps forward about 2 feet away from the pole number 1. Finish facing each other for 1 measure. Figure number 3, the Koradang step. Take 8 Koradang step right and left alternately. Arms in the forward position, right and left high alternately for 16 measure. At the last measure, the boy jumps over to the left side of his partner, facing the center. Figure number 4, Tinikling step sideways. Open the poles wider to accommodate the feet of the dancers. Partners join inside hands, free hands of the girl holding skirt and boys free hands on waist. B. Hop on left foot outside the poles, count 1, hop on the right, count 2, and on left between the poles, count 3 for 1 measure. C. Hop forward on the right foot outside across pole number 1, count 1, hop on left, count 2, and the right foot between the poles, count 3 for 1 measure. Repeat A and B 5 times, alternative for 5 measure. Hop on right twice outside pole number 1, turning right about. Release the hold of the inside hands, count 1, 2, hop on left, close right foot, in place, count 3 for 1 measure. Join inside hands, repeat A, B, and C for 7 measure. Hop on right foot outside pole number 2, release the hold of the inside hands, count 1, and pose. Figure number 5, feet apart. Girls turns right and boy left facing each other. Jump with both feet apart outside the poles, number 1 and number 2. Join both hands and swing them sideways, count 1. Jump twice with feet together between poles. Swing hands down in front between them, count 2 and 3 for 1 measure. Repeat A twice for 2 measure. Jump with feet apart outside the poles, count 1. Release the hands and jump twice between the poles, turning right about, count 2 and 3. Partners are in back-to-back position for 1 measure. Repeat A, B, and C except hand movements. Girl holding skirt, boys hands on waist for 4 measure. Repeat all A, B, C, and D except on the 16th measure. The girl does not turn, the boy turns right about facing the audience for 8 measure. Figure number 6, cross step. A. Hop on left foot across the pole number 2 and raise right foot in rear, count 1. Hop on right twice between the poles, count 2, 3. Girls right hands on waist and left holding skirt, boys hands on waist for 1 measure. B. Hop on left outside the pole number 1 and raise right foot in rear, count 1. Hop on right twice between the poles, count 2, 3. Hands as above for 1 measure. C. Repeat A and B 3 times more. On the last 2 counts of the 8th measure, hop on right foot twice, turning right about for 6 measure. D. Repeat 7 times A and B alternately for 7 measure. E. Girl hops on the left outside pole number 2, count 1. Hops on the right twice between the poles, moving backward near bamboo player number 2, count 2. Hop on the right again and face right about, count 3 for 1 measure. Figure number 7, diagonal. A. Hop on left foot outside the poles. Hop on right diagonally forward to the center of the poles, count 2. Hop on left on the same spot, count 3. Join right hands and counts for 2, 3 for 1 measure. B. Hop on right foot diagonally backward across the other pole. Girl across pole number 1, boy number 2. Release the whole of the right hands, count 1. Hop on left, count 2, and right, count 3 between the pole as above. Join right hands and count 2, 3 for 1 measure. C. Repeat 5 times A and B alternately for 5 measure. D. Leave to exchange places for 1 measure. E. Repeat A, B, and C for 7 measure. F. Boy leaps to the left side of the pole number 1 and girl at the right side of pole number 2 near bamboo players number 2 for 1 measure. Figure number 8, waltz. A. Starting with the right foot, take 4 waltz step forward. Arms in a lateral position, moving sideward right and left alternately, or inside hand join for 4 measure. B. Repeat A, moving backward 4 measure. Girl dances in front of her partner. C. Hop on the outside foot. Once outside the poles, girl outside pole number 2, boy pole number 1, count 1. Hop on the inside foot twice between the poles, count 2, 3. Girl holds her skirt, boy's hands and waist for 1 measure. D. Repeat C 5 times more, moving forward little by little for 5 measure. E. Boy jumps over to the left side of the girl and they join right hands. Girl makes a 3-step turn left in place, passing under the arch of arms for one measure, and both bow to the audience for one measure.